Sunlight streamed through stained glass windows. A gentle breeze carried the scent of lilies. The bride, radiant in ivory lace, gazed at her groom. Her heart pounded, not with joy, but with a terrifying resolve. The ceremony concluded. Guests applauded, oblivious to the darkness lurking beneath the surface. The reception was a blur of champagne toasts and forced smiles. The bride, however, felt a cold detachment. Her mind was elsewhere, consumed by a plan. Later that night, in the opulent honeymoon suite, the groom lay dead. A single fatal wound marred his chest. The weapon, a silver letter opener gifted to him that very morning, lay discarded nearby. The fairy tale wedding had become a crime scene. The blushing bride, now a widow, sat in the back of a police car, her white gown stained crimson. Her eyes, once filled with love, were now cold and empty, reflecting the horror of her actions. Mark and Emily were the epitome of a perfect couple. He, a successful architect, and she, a talented musician, had met at a charity gala 2 years prior. Their love story was one for the society pages, a whirlwind romance culminating in a lavish wedding. Behind closed doors, however, their relationship was a tapestry of secrets and lies. Mark, though charming in public, was controlling and possessive in private. Emily, once a free spirit, felt suffocated by his constant demands and jealousy. Their arguments became more frequent, escalating from harsh words to shattered glass. Emily tried to break it off several times, but Mark always managed to manipulate her back into the relationship. He would shower her with apologies, promises of change, and extravagant gifts. Each time, Emily clung to the hope that their love could conquer all. But deep down, a seed of doubt had been sown. The weeks leading up to the wedding were the most stressful of Emily's life. Mark became increasingly possessive, accusing her of infidelity and monitoring her every move. He insisted on controlling every aspect of the wedding, from the guest list to the music selection, turning what should have been a joyous occasion into a logistical nightmare. Emily, exhausted and emotionally drained, felt trapped. The wedding, once a symbol of their love, now represented her gilded cage. Her friends and family, blinded by Mark's charm and the illusion of their perfect relationship, dismissed her concerns. They saw only the fairy tale, not the nightmare unfolding behind the scenes. One evening, while going through Mark's things, Emily stumbled upon a series of incriminating emails. Mark, it turned out, wasn't who he claimed to be. He had been living a double life, embezzling funds from his own company and engaging in shady business deals. The revelation was shattering. Emily realized that she was trapped with a monster and her only escape was to disappear. But Mark had her passport, her money, her freedom. Section 4. With this ring, I forsake all others. The wedding day dawned, bright and beautiful, a cruel mockery of the darkness that had descended upon Emily's heart. As she stood at the altar, gazing at Mark, she saw not her beloved, but the monster he truly was. The man who had manipulated and controlled her, stolen her freedom and shattered her spirit. The ceremony proceeded, each word a nail in the coffin of Emily's hopes and dreams. When the priest uttered the words, "Till death do us part," a chilling thought entered Emily's mind. She realized that death was the only way out, the only way to break free from Mark's clutches. During the reception, fueled by a potent mix of champagne and simmering rage, Emily excused herself to the honeymoon suite. She found the silver letter opener, a gift from Mark, lying on the bedside table. It was heavy in her hand, cold and unforgiving. When Mark entered the room, moments later, Emily was ready. Section 5. The aftermath. The investigation was swift and brutal. Emily, initially in shock, confessed to the crime. Her lawyer attempted to mount a defense of temporary insanity, arguing that Emily had acted in a moment of extreme emotional distress. The prosecution, however, presented a compelling case, painting Emily as a cold, calculating killer motivated by greed and a desire to inherit Mark's fortune. The trial became a media sensation, with the public divided in their opinions. Some sympathized with Emily, seeing her as a victim of domestic abuse driven to desperate measures. Others saw her as a cunning gold digger who had gotten away with murder. In the end, the jury found Emily guilty of second-degree murder. As the judge read out the sentence, 20 years to life, Emily felt a strange sense of relief. The fairy tale was over. The truth, as ugly and painful as it was, had finally come to light. And Emily, forever branded as the wedding day killer, was left to face the consequences of her actions. The families, both shattered and broken, retreated into themselves, forever haunted by the tragedy that had befallen them. The wedding, once a symbol of love and hope, would forever be remembered as the day their lives were irrevocably changed.